really working together. Everybody's working together. I'm pleased to report that clinical trials in New York will begin existing for existing drugs that may prove effective against the virus. At my direction, the federal government is working to help obtain large quantities of chloroquine. And you can look from any standpoint tomorrow in New York. We think tomorrow pretty early, the hydroxychloroquine and the Z-Pak, I think is a combination, probably is, and it'll be distributed tomorrow. It'll be available and is now. They already have it. They're going to distribute it tomorrow morning to a lot of people in New York City and New York. We're studying it very closely, watching it very closely. You probably saw a couple of articles today came out where a gentleman, they thought he was not going to make it. He said goodbye to his family. They had given him the drug just a little while before, but he thought it was over. His family thought he was going to die. And
we got a long drive to.
A number of hours later, he woke up, felt good, and he woke up again, and he felt really good, and he's in good shape. And he's very happy for this particular drug that we got approved in record-setting time. There's never been anything even close to it. And I want to thank the FDA, which has been incredible. Dr. Hahn, Stephen Hahn, highly respected man, but they're doing everything possible to
they gave him that malaria medication.
Supply of these drugs, not only this drug, but also others that are coming. Remdesivir is coming, Regeneron. A couple of others are also under study. But the one that I'm very excited about right now is the one we just mentioned. And
so there's cures out there.
Real chance. I mean, again, we don't know, but there's a real chance that it could have
simple shit like
tremendous impact. It would be
staying clean, drinking
a gift from God.
Lemon water.
It would be a big game changer. So we'll see. But distribution starts tomorrow morning early in New York, and I think a lot of people are going to be, hopefully they're going to be very happy with the result, but we're all going to be watching closely. It's something we have to try. It's been very, very successful on malaria, very, very successful. And countries with malaria have had a interesting thing happen. They take this particular drug. It's a very powerful drug. And there is very little semblance of the virus in those countries. And there are those that say because this drug is very prevalent because of the malaria. So we'll see what happens. I'm also announcing that we're postponing the deadline for compliance with real ID requirements at a time when we're asking Americans to maintain social distancing. We do want to require people to go with their local DMV. We will, after they've been stranded for 10 days in Brazil, following a cruise. We want to thank the Brazilian government and their great president.
It's online.
Most of those returned were senior citizens. My administration, in cooperation with Governor Greg Abbott of Texas and the private sector, coordinated their safe return to the United States. So thank you to Governor Abbott. Terrific governor, terrific man. Earlier today, I signed an executive order invoking presidential authority under Section 4512 of the Defense Production Act to prohibit the hoarding of vital medical equipment and supplies, such as hand sanitizers, face masks, and personal protective equipment. We have a lot of face masks, a lot of equipment is coming in, and we have some people hoarding. And Attorney General Barr is going to be speaking about that in a second. We want to prevent price gouging, and critical health and medical resources are going to be protected in every form. Under this directive, the Secretary of Health and Human Services is authorized to designate essential health and medical supplies as scarce. So he'll designate certain supplies and medical elements as scarce, and that means it will be a crime to stockpile these items in excessive quantities, which is happening to a relatively small degree, we think, but nevertheless it's happening. We can't let it happen. And we can't let them resell them at excessive prices, which some people are doing. Very simply, we will not allow anyone to exploit the suffering of American citizens for their own profit. So we're going to be watching that with our great Attorney General very closely. The Department of Justice will be aggressively prosecuting fraudulent schemes related to the pandemic. Yesterday, federal prosecutors took action in their first case, shutting down a website selling a totally fake vaccine, if you can believe that one.
Robbing them.
As president, I will always fight to protect Americans from being exploited. Thankfully, all throughout the country, we're witnessing extraordinary acts of compassion, benevolence, and unity. Construction companies are donating masks by the hundreds of thousands. Manufacturing workers are transforming their assembly lines. Citizens are volunteering to deliver food and medicine to the elderly. We're truly seeing America at its best. We're really seeing things that people never thought even could happen. Frankly, we never thought this could happen. But the way most Americans are working toward getting it solved and just doing what they have to do to make this go away has been incredible. It's been incredible. I want to take a moment to thank the everyday heroes who are making our vast effort against the virus possible. And thank you to the healthcare workers and the first responders. These are very brave people. Thanks also to the hardworking men and women of Federal Express, UPS, United States Postal Service, and the truckers who are maintaining our supply chains and supply lines. We thank you very much. Great job. We also want to give our regards and thanks to everyone at our grocery stores working the night shift so that shelves can be restocked, and the restaurant workers and delivery drivers keeping our families fed. So many of these restaurants, it's incredible. They're doing service where people come and they pick it up. Delivery, I mean, it's been incredible what they've been doing. Totally different business than they were in, other than they cook food. Other than that, it's like a totally different business. Most of all, I want to thank the American people for rising to the challenge and showing incredible courage, determination, patience, grace, and grit. From New York to Seattle and everywhere in between, your acts of selflessness and sacrifice and ingenuity are a powerful testament to the American character. It's really being shown. It's really showing up at a level that people are really respecting. All over the world they're respecting. And the world has problems. We're 148 countries now. 148 countries are affected by the invisible scourge. And all of the uplifting reflections of the American spirit are out there for everyone to see. Together we will care for our fellow citizens, and we will win this war, and we'll win it much sooner than people think. And we'll be back in business as a country pretty soon. You'll be hearing about that also pretty soon. Now I'd like to ask Attorney General Bill Barr to say a few words.
So they are going to get something together that's trying to get fucking Democrats to like fucking agree with this shit, you know, motherfuckers. They're holding the shit up. But the Democrats also, they want to make sure the bigger businesses aren't abusing it.
Yeah.
So I see the point there, but, you know, hurry up and fucking figure something out. They should figure out something for every individual to get something, and then deal with the fucking big corporations. When it all comes down to it, we're what matters the fucking most, right? Because if it wasn't for all of us working in their big businesses and companies and all that shit, they wouldn't be a fucking business or a company. In order to be a big guy, you gotta have small guys below you. It's a pretty badass tent. It hooks up to the pop up. Did you see that? Tree in the yard. Back there.
Oh yeah, I noticed that the other day. I was all what? I gotta get.
That shit's badass, huh? I thought it was pretty funny.
I gotta get me one of those.
You get two of them, so you just fucking right in the middle. It's all blocked off. Just chill in the middle of your tent. That shit is sick. I'm getting out.
Yeah, get 3 of them.
No, it had. That was. I think that was just one. That went over.
Imagine getting 2.
Yeah, get two
Oh,
and be able to block it all off. And be able to kick it right in the middle.
What was that?
Almost dropped my gun. I did drop my butt. Almost hit the pavement.